Hi there folks, this is a little bit more revision for our upcoming end of year examinations. We're going to be looking at the concept of area. Now we're going to put this to good use later on when we look at some composite shapes. Composite shapes are shapes that are made up or composed of a number of different shapes. And I'm going to show you some strategies you can use to solve that type of problem. But for the meantime, what we're going to do is quickly have a look at the concept of area. Now we mustn't get this confused with perimeter, and like I said in the perimeter video, and if you haven't watched that, you should watch that before you watch this video. You must make sure you understand that the perimeter is the distance that you have to take when going around a shape. Area is basically how many little squares of a particular measurement will fit inside a shape. So looking at this very simple rectangle we have here at the top, we can see that I've already divided it up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now those units of length should be equal. So if they don't look equal, it's only because Mr. Komenos is more artistic than he is an accurate mathematician. So we have 8 going that way, and we have 4 going the other way. So what you have here is it's showing you a really good use for this particular strategy of finding area. If you were a tiler and you needed to tile a wall and you knew the tiles were a certain size, or you were carpeting a floor with carpet tiles, this would be a way of working out how many you would need for a room. So what's happening here is you have your length, which is your long side, and it can be abbreviated to an L, and you have your breadth, which can be abbreviated to a small b. And that formula for a rectangle, and it also works for a square, except that the two sides of the square would be the same, is area equals length times breadth. So it's basically just a fancy way of saying one side times the other. So we know that the length of this side here, we've already said it, was 8 units. Could be centimeters, could be millimeters, could be meters, but it's units. And the breadth, we already said, was 4 units. So to find the total area, we multiply the 8 by the 4. So we say 4/8 equal to, that's right, 32. Because we've got 2 16s. Okay, so 32, Mr. Komenos is just checking to make sure his maths is incorrect. 32 units, because we haven't stated what the units are. And we've got to remember this, because if we do forget to do this, you will lose marks. It's units squared to the power of 2. What does that mean, 32 units squared? Is it just a number? What does it actually mean? Well, it actually means that if I had tiles that were 1 unit by 1 unit, I'd need 32 of them. And you can see here I've divided up my wall or my floor into the number of tiles. And if I count those tiles, I should have 32 of them, 8 by 4. But let's make sure if that actually works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So there you go. Rather than trying to measure and count exactly how many tiles, I just need to multiply length by breadth, and I can work out how many units squared, or how mmit tiles I need. Now, if those tiles were a meter by a meter, it would be 32 meters squared. Okay, so and if it was a wall and I need to paint it, I'd look at how many meters squared I could get out of each can. I could work out whether I have enough paint. So they're all real-world applications of this mathematics that you are learning. Now, down here we also have a triangle. Now, area of a triangle, as you can see, if we were to take our rectangle and draw a diagonal line across, we would have two triangles, one on each side, and each one would be exactly half of the rectangle. So you guessed it, when you want to work out the area of a triangle, we say area of a triangle is equal to half of the base, which is the bottom, this bit here, this is the base here, or here in this case, times the height. Half base times height. Now you're going to have to remember that. But just remember, it's the vertical height. So in a right angle triangle like this one, if this was 10 and this was 5, the area of this triangle would be half base times height, which is equal to half of 10 times 5, which is equal to 5 by 5, which equals 25 units squared. So that's a pretty simple formula to use. The only thing you got to remember, if we're looking at a triangle like this one, which has an obtuse angle in it, you need to get the vertical height here. So if this was 8 and the height was still, let's say it's 4, you would say half of this base, which is 4, half of 8 times the vertical height, which is 4. So it would be 4 times 4, which would be 16 units squared. And that is how you find the area of a rectangle, a square, or a triangle. Next video will be on composite